Hello. Good morning. 'Tis I, Mystical McKay, and this morning I have a very beautiful, special, magnificent, powerful meditation to share with you. They say that you literally are what you eat. You hear that a lot, right? Those words are more true than I think. Sorry about the notification. It's just letting me know that I am live on Twitch. Yes. So, this meditation is, I thought about doing this morning, about really sitting and appreciating like a piece of food right before a meal or like an upcoming meal if you're anxious about it. It's a wonderful practice to just become very present with your meal before you actually get into the process of like consuming it, which can sometimes be a very unconscious act for a lot of us, depending on how we grew up consuming food. So I actually wanted to do a meditation for this a while back, like 2 months ago, and I realized that there weren't any really like extensive meditations on this. There was like one for like 5 minutes, which I can understand because if someone's in the process of eating or wanting to eat, they don't want to like go a whole fucking 30 minutes meditating on it. But I feel like in some cases that's a cool thing to do. Just to really, really sit and like have that much appreciation for a meal sitting right in front of you for that long. So I thought maybe I could try to do one my own, since there doesn't really seem to be any. Just a thought. But as I was saying, food. This is gonna be my food. It's like super early. It's like 7 in the morning. I don't want to be taking in like solid food right now, so I just chose this celery juice. I'm doing like a 21-day reset thing where I'm just flushing out all the crap I've been eating. And I feel good. I feel really, really good. So this is going to be my first meal, which is a perfect practice for me because it's not always the most delicious, but it makes you feel amazing. Your skin glows, it just feels softer. It's crazy. The power of medicine, plant medicine. Anyway, so you can do this any way you'd like. You don't have to have a piece of food with you. You don't even really have to be, in the process of having a meal and eating a meal. You could just do this about literally any piece of food. You could just visualize it. It's a good thing to do if you do feel like you do have somewhat of an unhealthy relationship with food. It's a very fun way to explore the way you really do feel about this particular food or food in general. It's good for some self-discovery. So, either way, you're getting something out of it. It's obviously super, super fun to be in that state where you're like super, super hungry and you can't wait to eat something, and you're like, no, I want to really, really, really appreciate this when it comes out. So you can do that too. That's also super fun. I've done that a few times. It's just a fun way to really be present in this human experience. So let's get started. Take a nice seat or lay down. Just kind of become aware of where you currently reside, what time it may be in the day, how your body feels, whether or not you are hungry or not. You could maybe do a little bit of stretching. I always want to stretch in the morning. I'm not used to sitting in front of a camera so early. But that's okay. Just do whatever you need to make yourself comfortable, as I do. And if you do have a piece of food with you to look at, to become aware of, then you can look at it and just notice that it's there. And notice how it feels when you just look at it. How does your body react when you first glance at it? And just kind of breathe into that. Does it give you a sense of like, yes, yummy, I want that, give it? Or is it maybe a sense of, Maybe there's a sense of, I want you, but you're bad for me. So just here, whatever comes up, just notice it. Remember to take nice, feel like you're like breathing it in maybe. Like within each inhale, you look at it and you just, and see how in return, breathing all of that in, how that affects your body. And then trying to deepen the breath at the same time. Inhale. So, when I did this with my beautiful drink, I can feel like as I'm breathing it in, it almost feels like my cells are like regenerating. And they're like all super tingly and they're going down my legs and it's like, woo! That's the strange sensation that I got with literally water and celery, so. But it feels weird. Alright, so if you don't have any food with you and you're just visualizing, I really want you to take in the bodily sensations of anything associated with that food, whether that be how it smells, what it tastes like, how it feels when you know you're touching it, or if you're breaking it apart, or whatever you're doing, however you go about consuming it. I want you to just visualize that process happening and notice what kind of stuff that brings up. If you're super hungry, it's gonna make you want to eat your food right now, but be patient. This is your work. And if you actually have something, now you can maybe try to touch it in some way, hold it, whatever it may be. My straw is so long. And see just how it feels. Like, how does it feel to hold every single food, piece of food, set of food, has a different, like, vibration to it. And when you hold it, you can actually almost feel the energy of it. If you pay attention, that is. So just kind of feel it. And notice if it's warm, cold. Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Does it... If it's like a piece of junk food, more likely than not, it might just feel like it's dead. Like, I don't know if you can understand what that means. Like, you can You just pick it up and there's really not any light emitting from it. Like when I pick this up, it's like, it almost feels like I'm touching the sun. But if you're thinking about or touching something that doesn't really have a lot of, I think, nutritional value perhaps, or it's dirty, then it might not feel the best in your hand. So just observe it. If it's something you're allergic to as well, if you're trying to like, I don't know why you would do that, visualize something that you're like super allergic to, you might start developing symptoms. So now you can smell it. I do not like the smell of celery juice, but we're going to because it's just an experience. Wow. So weird. There was like an after smell to it that was actually quite decent. Just experiencing it, just being like, wow, what's the consistency of this? Really getting present with it. And once you've done that and you feel like you've touched her in every way you can, you can either keep holding it and bringing it into your heart space, the heart chakra, right down there. You might even, depending on what kind of food you have, obviously, this might not work. If you're holding something, it's easier, but just do what you can. If you're like holding a plate of something, then you can just like have it resting on your chest. Right here, I'm just like holding it. I like that I'm choosing this because this feels good. I can feel like my heartbeat through the glass and my hand, which is kind of miraculous, so it's perfect. So either visualize this, take some nice deep breaths, just really being here in whatever state you're in, whether it's extreme hunger or no interest in food whatsoever, just be here with this particular food that you have chosen for yourself in mind, around you and your heart chakra. And just notice anything that ever comes with the heart chakra. You're just gonna start feeling some intense sensations in that general area. So just experience them. And it's so much more intense that I can feel this like through the glass. I can really feel my heart beating away, nourishing, breathing. Isn't it kind of crazy how every single inhale and exhale is keeping us alive? Each one is giving oxygen and blood to all the parts of your body that need it, all because of that process. So perhaps our first spark of gratitude doesn't even need to be about the food. It could be about the simple yet miraculous magic that happens 24/7, all day, every day, within yourself, that you don't even have to think about, and it'll still do it. Pretty freaking crazy if you ask me. So that is what I'm going to choose. But if you have something else in mind that really sparks your mind with just pure joy and appreciation for the existence of this choose your own adventure life, then you can think of that. Just focus on something you're grateful for right here in this moment. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm choosing my heart. And just breathing into it. And you might even say thank you to, if it's a person, or it could literally be anything. Whatever you want. Just look at it. Now visualize and just say thank you. You could be holding your food. You could be just thinking about your food. Whatever you want. And just saying thank you. And breathing into it. Thank you. And this whole process that goes on within would not be able to happen if not for a beloved energy source. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Isn't that kind of cool? When you really think about it, the whole idea of the way we receive our own form of survival is to consume delicious things. How beautiful, right? That's amazing. Honestly. It's a blessing. So, you could recognize that. If it doesn't resonate with you, then okay. So, once you've done that, I don't know if you're aware of this, but all of that love that you were just accumulating in your body has now transferred into your beloved meal. So if you fancy that, then you can continue to just kind of breathe and bring in just a sense of that lighthearted thank you, gratitude, appreciation, saying yes to something instead of no. Being like, yes, thank you. Total appreciation and saying, yes, I want more of this. And with that being said, part of my brain is like subconsciously like, okay, drink it. So, if you're done with the gratitude portion of this, just really finding that one thing. Like, everyone usually has one thing that just like they think of it and they instantly just like feel this burst of gratitude. That's what I want you to fill the energy of your meal with. So once you've done that, think about your mouth. And when you think about taking a bite or taking a sip, what does your mouth do? Maybe you can get ready to take that bite if you feel like it, or if you don't have food but you're just imagining, maybe putting it near your lips. And then maybe you can just take one little tiny bite or sip. And before you do that, be present, be where you are, and I want you to feel every single sensation as it arises. Just notice how it tastes, how your saliva reacts to it, how it felt when you swallowed. Oh my God. And how your body seems to be reacting to it now that it is traveling down the cosmic gut. Who knows what happens after that, right? Alright, so yeah. Just notice. Pay attention. Witness the sensation of that. If you're super, super, super hungry, you're probably like dying because you're like, just let me go to town on this meal right now. Or you could just be very, very anxious because you don't like thinking about food for this long. Notice what comes up. And just breathe. If you ate something that didn't agree with you, right about now you might be experiencing the effects of that. Maybe, maybe not. I just felt like I took a sip of water. But it was just exactly what I felt like I needed for this morning, so. Food is such a essential part of living. And it's a part of living that you can't really escape if you want to survive. So it's important to have an amazing relationship with it. You can have an amazing relationship to food, to real food. I'm talking like whole, grown, straight out of the ground just for you. Whole foods. It's crazy. And once you start really consciously choosing the foods that are more in alignment with your best self, everything changes. Literally. Everything. Because you start saying yes to life and no to living to eat, if that makes sense. So here in this moment, after doing this process, this simple, quiet little process, I want you to sit here and really ask yourself what your relationship to food really looks like. For most people, it is more as though we do live to eat rather than eating to live. And the only way, the easiest way to know if that is the case is if you use it as a coping mechanism for anything. Which don't we all? Yeah. That's usually how you know, and to a certain degree. When we're using it to numb something, we're most likely not choosing very conscious, healthy things. Which is okay. It happens. We're on our own journey. But once we start becoming more aware of the things around us and how fantastic you really feel when you choose to eat to live, your life is full of magic. Because it doesn't have you. You don't feel out of control. You feel like you have this fun, amazing dance with food, and it's just one aspect of your fantastic other dances with life. Instead of feeling like this thing that you have to dread and worry about and stress about and think about so far ahead in the future and what you're going to do and what you're going to eat and what do you even know? It's so easy when you're just like, okay, I'm going to choose what I know is going to best support my body, whatever is there that is going to heal me instead of make me sick. That's what you choose. And then food truly is thy medicine. We've been conditioned into a world that makes being sick really comfortable. And that's just the truth. That's just the way it is. It's the easiest way to manipulate a person is to change their DNA and the way that their body functions. And that's what food does. Food is everything to us. You are what you eat. I heard a thing that said every 35 days, your skin is completely renewed, depending on whatever it was you happen to be eating within those days. It doesn't take long for your body to start healing itself if you stop doing the things that you are doing that are causing the disease. It's crazy. It's madness. It's pure madness. But when you don't know, and you're so numb, and you're so into your coping, and you're just trying to find something to make you feel better right here, right now, I can see how that would be the next best thing. That's okay. That's okay. Just be where you are. And really, in this moment, that's really all that our intention right here, right now, is to ask ourselves. I want to see the truth of the real of the real of my relationship in regards to food. You could get a ton of flashbacks of all the other times you've had either, super hyped up memories of times you were just noshing on something, or maybe times when you felt anxious about food. Just whatever comes up. Notice what does come up and see it. And notice the most how it feels inside. What are the emotions that arise? Just take a moment to just kind of sit with that feeling and see how your body feels. And then when you get the answer, if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe you could comment below what your answer was. What is my answer? Oh, I don't know. Let me see. My answer. What is my relationship to food? I got the answer that we're besties. We besties. Awesome. Awesome. So cool. So just notice what came up. What did come up? Was it uncomfortable? Was it something you weren't expecting? Maybe. No? Whatever came up, just accept it. Just be like, whatever. Cool. So now, you could be feeling a lot of things right now, depending on what did come up. If you feel super, super, super hungry, starving, then maybe you could take another bite, swig, taste. And it's crazy how every single time you take a bite of something, you're having quite the experience. But usually if you're mixed in conversation or distracting yourself with other things while you're noshing on something, you're not even really experiencing it. Because it takes your whole focus to really enjoy something. Anything, whatever that may be. You gotta give it 100% of your focus to really squeeze out all the juice of life. So, I think, other than that, I didn't really have anything else planned. I sort of do these meditations super spontaneously. They're just like whatever comes up, comes up. So I can ask if there's anything else that I should do before we close out of this. Okay. Food used to be, for me, the most horrible thing in my life. I always wished that there could be a magic pill that I could take in the morning, in the afternoon, and the night, which that really meant something because I did not like taking pills. But I just wish that I could take the simple pill to give me all the nutrients that I could ever need, because I didn't really enjoy the process of eating. I had a lot of anxieties and trauma over it that I've been working on. And so for the first 10 years or 20 years of my life, honestly, I've been more afraid of food than anything. And not until recently have I been able to transcend from that. And it's been a rocky roller coaster ride that's gone up and down and up and down. But every time you go up, you stay up a little bit more, and then you go down a little bit, but then you go whoop, 4 more up. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you start really prioritizing self-love and really, I don't even really know, like, once you make just like the slightest shift in the things that you consume, truly, as they say, you are what you eat, it transforms you. Energetically, like literally, physically too. It's your whole body is running off. It's being fueled by a completely different energy source. And most people never really experience what it feels like to truly be like powered by everything that was made to truly assist you in life. You feel like the Hulk. I'm not kidding. But anyway, as I was saying, the whole thing about this is it's a game changer when you really start having that love from within, because then it makes the choice of eating something for the sake of it making you feel like Jesus Christ himself, as opposed to eating something because in the consumption of it, it's filling a void, you know? Because when you do that, you're a slave. And even the process of doing it feels like this horrible, out of control, scary experience. And you're kind of having a good time because all your endorphins are popping up, but then there's that underlying fear of like, oh my God, this is scaring me. Because they've got you. But that's okay. Because if you're watching this, you're probably either to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to actually be here with myself and my body in the process of eating something. Because you can only do that. You'll only want to do that when you know that usually what you're eating is going to be healing, not killing you. But either way, wherever you are is where you are. Wherever you are, that's where you are. So just breathe and give thanks to whatever food that you have chosen today. Mine's my beautiful celery juice. Take a nice, cleansing, deep breath. And if you're starving, congratulations. If you made it this far, I'm very proud of you. Oh my God. If you did, I highly doubt anybody made it this far if they've actually been eating something. But congratulations. You get a gold star from me if you did. All right. So whatever just happened during these last couple of minutes, just know that it's nothing serious. It's simply just a reflection of where you currently reside in relationship to what you consume, which can always be transcended whenever you please, whenever you're interested and open to it. Down the rabbit hole. Okay. If you've been visualizing with your eyes closed, then maybe you could open your eyes now. I don't think I ever told you to close your eyes, really, unless you were visualizing, of course. And if you still have your food, then I give you free permission. You've probably already gone off, but you can go off and start eating your food, but do it consciously. Take each bite and really relish in it, celebrate it. Think about how all the things that may be on your plate or in your cup or in your bowl, how all of those things had to go through an entire process to come to you. It had to be planted at some point. It had to grow to maturity. It had to be cut off, distributed somewhere, sent to your home, bought at a grocery store, chopped up, seasoned. Yeah, it's a miraculous process when you really think about it. So that's also another thing that we could have given gratitude towards. I didn't even think about that, but they just come to you. And we're grateful for that. So that was my semi-messy meditation on bringing love into your food before you take it in. This is also a very strong practice for self-love as well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because when we do this, we're literally, you truly are emitting love into anything. When you're thinking of something you're grateful for and you're holding it, your hands are so powerful, and there's like magic beams springing out from your hands and into whatever you're touching, literally, whenever you're in that gratitude state. You feel it. It feels like a magical power. And then when you do that, it's got it. It's charged with it. It's like magic. And then when you drink it, you're drinking the love that you had for yourself. Yep, that's how it works. It's a crazy process, and if you do it, it's a wonderful thing to do to increase your self-awareness and make it easier to choose stuff that really heals you. Yay! Cool. Awesome. I feel like this meditation was a little weird. It probably needed a little bit more structure, but I'm learning. So, don't make fun of me, okay? I'm doing my best. We all are. Okay. Thank you. I love you. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this and sit outside and enjoy my beautiful Monday morning. And I hope you do the same. Alright? Love you.